Patrick Welch. He's an anti-war activist. Daniel, good to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, U.S. President Barack Obama is warning of a prolonged military campaign in Iraq. But how involved is Washington going to get?
Well, I suppose it depends on what you mean by involved. I mean, ISIS is their baby, so they're going to come in and put airstrikes onto ISIS when ISIS is actually funded by their allies, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, the Gulf monarchies. So what they're doing, and you notice that this is fairly limited. Maliki said this himself, and even though they're talking about something prolonged, they're talking about pinprick airstrikes on U.S.-made weapons that have been supplied to ISIS or stolen by ISIS in exactly this way. If it threatens Kurdistan and if it threatens the embassy, the U.S. embassy and U.S. interest in Baghdad.
So you're saying that the Americans are talking about aiding Baghdad, but this is all really about helping the Kurdish regional government and U.S. interest in Idlib.
Absolutely. There is what the U.S. wants above all is to shackle Iraq with problems that had been suppressed and but controlled under the Hussein regime. Anything at all to avoid a stable unitary state in Iraq. And so they will help. This is kind of a carving operation, shaping ISIS's advance by saying, okay, don't go here, don't do this. But basically everywhere else in Iraq, and in Syria, obviously, is just fine by us. If they really were concerned about ethnic cleansing, they wouldn't be doing it, funding it and restocking it in Gaza, and funding it and restocking it in East Ukraine, right?
Well, opinions in Iraq are divided over the U.S. decision to carry out airstrikes against the Islamic State. The residents interviewed in the capital of Baghdad appeared to agree that the airstrikes were merely part of further intervention by a foreign power seeking to further its own interests.
I think the airstrikes by the United States are in line with their own interests. I think the airstrikes should have been conducted by Iraq and not any other countries. I don't agree with the intervention by forces outside Iraq, and I wonder whether the airstrikes will be effective in resolving the current crisis.
I think they are limited airstrikes, and they will not have any effect on the extremists. The airstrikes only stop the extremists from attacking the Kurdistan region, but the fight against Sunni extremists will not be easy to end.
Okay, now let's bring in Sundar Abbas, representative for the Iraqi Turkmen Front in the UK. Thank you for joining us today, Ms. Abbas. Did militants from the so-called Islamic State take a wrong turn, if you will? If they had only stayed on the road towards Baghdad, the Americans would still be calling this a Sunni uprising.
Yeah, it's strange enough that the ISIS controlling some of the towns and cities in Iraq started, as you know, 2 months ago. And when they started, a huge amount of people, especially around the Mosul area, they started to flood the cities and towns, especially Tel Aviv, which consists of about 400,000 Turkmen, more than 200,000, 50,000 Turkmen. They fled the town of Tel Aviv. They've been 2 months now with no shelter, no food, no supplies everywhere. Some of them they moved down to the south of Iraq, to Najaf and Kalbar, and some of them they seek refuge in Sinjar, which has recently fallen in the hand of ISIS as well. So really, they've been suffering a lot since these 2 months. Let us not forget that some other area of Turkmens have been affected badly by the situation around Tunis, for example, Amerli, which have been under siege of ISIS for now nearly 2 months. People there are about 20,000 Turkmen living in there. They have no electricity, no water, no supply, it's just like the healthcare is this. So, suddenly US they started to have action to stop the atrocity by the ISIS. Really, I just wonder why they took them so long to take such action.
And of course, the political turmoil in Iraq has only aggravated the situation. Will we see the appointment of a new premier during tomorrow's parliamentary session?
Well,
appropriate anymore. Because it seems that politicians in Washington have stopped short of saying Maliki must go.
Well, they started by saying that, and I think that Maliki kind of angered them by being too close to Iran and maybe helping out Assad by letting transport of material through Iraq. But they are completely holding it hostage. That is the essential point. Again, look at what my co-guest said about the situation with the Turkmen. The U.S. imperial drive is not against ethnic cleansing or even genocide. It's a main part of its global push for the last, couple hundred years if you include the British Empire. It's not something that they want to stop because it's a humanitarian issue. They want to shape and carve the things that are a threat to their interests. And like I said, going back to that one thing, a unitary, undivided, and strong secular state is their biggest enemy in Iraq because it adds to the axis of resistance that runs from Iran through Iraq, up through Syria, and into South Lebanon with Hezbollah.
Do you think that this plan will work?
To stop that, I don't know. It's part of a global push. I don't know if the plan in Gaza will work to crush the spirit of the Palestinians and drive them into the sea. I don't know if the push in East Ukraine will work to ethnically cleanse in that part of the country and kind of provoke Russia to respond. I don't know if this one will work either. You have to see it in a global context, and you have to believe that it's a cynical drive and one that doesn't have the bulk of humanity behind it, and therefore hope that it's bound to fail.
Okay, Mr. Abbas, do you have a different opinion on this? Do you think that this could work in Iraq? Even if a new government is elected, will that be enough to bring real change to the political landscape in Iraq?
Well, the way that have been formed the government first place since 2003, and we haven't seen any changes throughout these 11 years, and even when the elections have moved 3 or 4 times, but the kind of forming of government was the same. So really, I'm not hoping that we are going to see big change in the policy in Iraq, and it's going to be the same struggle between the groups. It's going to be continuing until the leaders of these groups really realize that it's not helping the country at all, and they should start to think seriously to have a take step towards peaceful, democratic federal country.
Okay, Daniel, your final thoughts on this. Where do we go from here? What will the region look like in the coming weeks, months?
Well, I think the U.S. is not going to stop its provocations either here or anywhere else. I think that my colleague who made the point about the failure of successive Iraqi governments underlines a really crucial issue, which is that the infighting only helps the aggressor. The failure to unify is the goal of U.S. empire, and they are, in fact, doing the bidding of the outsiders by not coming together and forming a stable government. And to the extent that they can do that, they will keep the empire at bay, and to the extent that they fail in that, it will continue to be the pressing point of Iraqi politics and regional politics in general.
Okay, now